Okay, cool. So this is another match here. We have Trenton in the purple, and we also have Tom in the blue. This is a couple of rolls in, so they've already had 2 or 3 rolls already, and this is the end of the no gi class. So they're very sweaty, they're slipping and sliding all over the place, and yeah, let's break it down. Hadouken! Okay, cool. So you've got Tom in guard, moving around. Very nice. Okay, let's just go over that just there. So he's in guard. He tried to go for the 3-point sweep. In this situation, he's got his left hand on the ankle, and also he's pushing in the midsection with his right foot, and he's just tripping there. Very nice. So he used that momentum to get up. He actually didn't get the sweep in that situation, but he came up to a single leg, and let's see what happens here. Wonderful. So nicely timed in that position. Testing out Trenton's flexibility, definitely, in the hamstring. So just watch what Tom does. He times the bounce and sweeps the foot out. Very nice. Okay, so points for the sweep in that situation. And if you look here, so Trenton's trying to lock Tom's right leg, and Tom goes to pull out, and just there, he comes very close to being caught in a knee bar, but Tom does the right thing. So he does a back step and pulls his knee free in that situation. So now they're kind of in a 50-50 situation. And right there, you can see that Tom is already fishing for the heel. So going for the heel hook in this position, and his legs are in a safe position. Okay? But you'll notice that he's got the heel, but it's actually very high up on his forearm. It's on his muscle as opposed to down a little bit lower, where it'd have a bit more control on his wrist. So Trenton's doing the right thing. You'll see his right hand is actually pushing to relieve pressure on Tom's outside leg. Let's see what happens here. So it's come very close, but Trenton's doing what he can to pull the legs apart to avoid Tom from actually getting a lot more control. And very close. Okay, right there, you saw his heel just slip out. So Tom's legs are apart, so it's harder to actually finish the heel hook in this position, and also because it's quite slippery as well. Trenton was able to pull his heel out. Okay, so ideally you don't want to have this here. This is going to make it much easier for him to be able to slip his heel like that there. Okay, so we've got options of putting the wrist right there, nice and tight. He can still do a heel slip, it's just a lot harder. Okay, outside of that, we could go here, okay, or I could switch the grip and go here, and then again, I could also lock like this. So this is all gonna make it a lot harder for him to slip his heel. With my leg position to lock his hips, I could be in a normal 50-50 where I'm hiding my heel, or maybe I could be on the outside like that there as well, which is going to avoid him from being able to peel my grip and then start to defend his heel. Okay, so Tom's in guard now. So in this situation, he's got 3 different options. He can go for a sweep, ending up on top. He can go for maybe a back take, and also he can go for submissions, where Trenton's really only kind of got 2 different opportunities to go for maybe a pass or maybe attack a submission like a leg lock or something. So we'll see where we end up. Okay, so Trenton controlling the legs. Looked like Tom was actually going to go for the same sweep. Trenton tried to go for a leg drag pass, and he had to redo it again, and there we go. So he finishes in side control. So he's in a very good position now. He's got a good left crossface on Tom's neck, and also a right underhook. So let's see what Tom does in this situation. Okay, so Tom's doing the right thing. He's got his left forearm underneath Trenton's neck to relieve a lot of pressure. You'll notice that he's got his right knee up as well. This doesn't prevent Trenton from going to mount, but it also it will slow him down anyway. So we'll see what Trenton does with this. I'm actually on the sidelines at the moment here. I did show Tom the buggy choke the other day, so props off for him to actually attempting it, but I think Trenton's just a little bit too big. Yeah, too strong. So yeah, too massive. Okay, so in this situation as well, Trenton's actually controlling Tom's arm. Tom's leaving his arm quite, his elbow away from his body. It's quite far out, so Trenton's got options of attacking that limb, so let's see what he does with that there. So he avoided the mount. Okay, he's got his right hand near Tom's hip, so this makes it a lot easier to start to circle around without Tom following him and work into a north-south position. And you'll notice now he's really focusing on Tom's left arm. Okay, so Tom's really got to think about pulling that arm back down. Okay, so he tried to put his back on the ground, pull the elbow down, and with a bit more weight and leaning to the side, Trenton was able to get a better grip and force him over to almost a Kimura. So Trenton's pinching his knees, squishing Tom's head. He's got a wrist control here and also grabbing his own wrist. So let's see what he does here. So Tom's trying to get his head free, but yeah, one more time. There we go. So in that position there, Tom's not in the best position. He tried to put his back on the ground, which makes it very hard to finish a Kimura because the arm would be pushing into the mat. But in this situation here, Trenton did the right thing. He pulled him over to his side, pinched his knees, basically sitting on his head here to actually work on getting the Kimura there. All right, cool. So resetting again. So same thing, they're trying to get some control here, pushing Tom backwards. Saw Trenton almost step his leg in between Tom's legs, so let's see what he does with that. If he goes to do that again. Okay, so right there. So it looks like Trenton's just about to do a back step. So he was very close to getting it, but Tom did the right thing in this situation. He actually brought his knees nice and close to his chest, so it prevents Trenton from doing a back step and finishing in, say, a saddle position. Okay, and reaching around Trenton's head, so maybe going for a guillotine. The only thing is, when you're ever trying to finish a guillotine, obviously you've got to have your hands locked, but you've got to work on how to actually control your partner's hips. So in this situation, a half guard is not going to cut it. A full guard, great, but he's not close to that just yet. Maybe he could work on getting butterfly hooks to relieve a little bit more pressure, maybe sweep Trenton over the top, and then work on controlling his hips by squishing him into the mat. Let's see what happens. So in doing that, Trenton was able to reach over Tom's neck, and he's kind of like in a cradle position in this situation. So pinching him nice and tight, looking for that side control. Tom's doing the right thing, pushing on Trenton's hips and trying to square up with him. Bringing the knees up nice and close, and that's it, still caught in side control at the moment. So he's avoiding that crossface, and then Trenton got the crossface, pushing on the hip, doing the right thing, elbows in nice and tight as Trenton's maybe moving into mount. Okay, Tom timed that really well and ended up back in his guard as well. He kind of went for a jumping triangle in that situation. So same thing as where we were before, just in the opposite position. So Trenton's really got to focus on getting his posture, and then he can open the legs, and then he can start working on his passes. Tom in this situation, he's got to be nice and active. He can do sweeps, back takes, and also go for a couple of submissions. A lot more than when he was in butterfly guard. So you're trying to work on pulling the arm in to maybe go for, say, an armbar in that situation. Try to maybe go for a sit-up sweep or maybe a Kimura. Okay, hook inside, and he had options of going for maybe like the tripod sweep. The pendulum sweep in that situation, maybe an armbar, but wasn't really able to get it just yet. So now we're back in a standing position. Okay, there we go. Nice, he did a really good job at the sweep that he did before, although Trenton was able to get back up because he didn't have the best control. And now in this situation, Trenton finishes with a single leg. He's got a good collar tie. Okay, so yeah, in that situation there, Tom let go of the guillotine because Trenton's so low and he didn't have his hands together. And like I said before, you've got to control your partner's hips somehow. Okay, so what Trenton actually did in that situation there, so I'll just go back. Okay, he was jamming, so he's in a butterfly guard, okay, but he's very, very low, so it's very hard to elevate him in this situation. So Tom would ideally want to look for getting underneath his center of gravity by getting, say, maybe an underhook in this situation. But Trenton, watch what he does with his left arm. He bounces across with the weight down on Tom, and then he tries to get to a perpendicular position here. So now he'd be pinching Tom's knees nice and tight. He's driving his knee in. And one more time, Tom's bringing his right knee up as well to avoid Trenton from working into the mount. So let's see what happens here. So he's avoiding the crossface. Tom's doing a good job here, trying to frame on the neck and avoid that crossface, but he went over the top, tried to slip out. So same thing as before. So if he's holding on, it's going to make it a lot easier for Trenton to actually get handles. But then again, Tom could be working on just trying to get the right time to slip and slide out of there. Okay, so in that situation there, as opposed to going for the Kimura, it was pretty much very, very similar grip, although he's not holding onto the wrist. He's trying to go for an armbar. Okay, so in that situation there, so I'll just go back a little. Just as he was sitting down, Tom was trying to use that momentum to actually roll up on top. But he got a little bit caught there. Okay, so not that lucky. So he's got an option of a hitchhiker escape. It's going to be very hard to actually stack in this situation because Trenton's left shin is on his ribs. So let's see what happens here. There we go. Excellent. Cool. So he did go for the hitchhiker escape. Perfectly timed. So as he was doing that, he actually turned his thumb down to his chest. So let's go back there and look at that. Okay, so as he's pulling it down, Tom turned the direction of his hand, relieved the pressure off the head, and was able to do a backwards roll. So very nice job. So now Tom's on top. Let's see where he's going to go. Okay, he's trying to get the guard pass, running around the legs. Trenton's doing a good job at just being annoying, locking that ankle. Okay, in this situation, okay, an outside leg entanglement. Tom rolls over, and Trenton was able to get a sweep because Tom finished in the half guard. Okay, so Tom's doing a really good job in this situation here. See where his left arm is? He's framing on Trenton's neck, so this really avoids Trenton from really squishing him. And he's also got his left knee in this situation pushing on the hip. Okay. All right, so there's not the best guard because Trenton has his right knee out. Okay, so let's see what he does with this. He's also controlling Tom's wrist as well. And that's it. That's done. Cool. Excellent.
You win.
Alright, excellent. All done. So we had Trenton and Tom rolling today. So please let me know if these videos are helpful. I do plan on bringing out a lot more in the future. My main goal with these videos is just to help people out with knowing what positions are what and what to do, what not to do in certain positions, like if I should be passing, if I should be trying to go for a submission, if I should be trying to escape. All of those things. So hopefully they've been helpful, and please let me know in the comments below if you would like to see more gi matches broken down or more no gi matches broken down. So that's it for today, so till next time.
Perfect.